もう死んでいる。何？
Please notice me, senpai.
Would rather fight a crocodile than a bear, wouldn't you?
Fuck no.
Really?
Absolutely not.
I don't know about that.
Why. Because on land, I'm comfortable. In the water, I am not.
Okay, I meant on land.
On land,
Yeah, that's what I meant, because I pictured the village was inland.
No, what it is like, it's literally these villages that live along the river. Like, think Louisiana Cajuns, right? Like, their houses are on the river, and that's their primary source of food, is primary source of everything.
Oh, so they come up like from the...
So like you're fishing on the dock. You're just like, hey, how you doing? It thinks you're a goddamn water buffalo. You've seen the videos. Does that to people. Just gone.
Yeah, if I was near water, I still would not want to fight a bear, either in water, I guess.
Fuck no. First things first, for the first episode, the pilot episode, if you would, I just want to give a shout out to Chuck Yeager for being the first pilot in history to hit the sound barrier in an airplane. This one's you, Chuck Yeager.
Thought we could go for the Wright brothers, who were the original flyboys to begin with.
Ain't nobody give a fuck about flying unless you're going faster than sound. You bitch's text message can't even catch up to you at that point.
All right, so if we're going to do the pilot episode, we should probably do your favorite pilot, and I'm going to let you go first.
My favorite pilot is Chuck Yeager. It's Chuck Yeager.
Oh, I had to do some thinking about my pilot.
You do yours and I'll come back.
I thought really hard on who I wanted my favorite pilot to be. And the number one contender for me for pilots, because we were going to do fiction and nonfiction, I guess it'd be real life. Stephen Hiller. Anybody, does that ring a bell with anyone? Because it should, because it's Will Smith and Independence Day. That was also a good contender for pilot, but not my favorite.
Welcome to planet Earth, bitch.
Also, Paul Tibbets. Paul Tibbets came real close. And for those who don't know Paul Tibbets, he is the man who dropped the first bomb on Hiroshima. What a man. That's
a pirate. That's a pilot with the most guilt of any human being that's ever lived.
But actually, my favorite pilot would definitely have to be Hal Jordan. Was my original favorite pilot. That's the first thing that got me into comic books in the first place. For people who don't know,
not see that.
Yeah, Hal Jordan was the first Green Lantern actually that came out. So all that stuff that got me into. He was one of the original founders of the Justice League.
He was,
and people don't really talk about him, but that's okay. He is not my favorite Green Lantern. If it wasn't for Hal Jordan, I definitely would have gotten into a lot of comics and stuff, but it would have took me longer. I don't know. I just seen it. It came on TV and I was watching it and I was like, man, this is actually pretty cool. I'm going to check it out. So there's mine. Let's hear about Mr. Yeager.
Man, I don't know other than the fact that he was the first human being to go faster than the sound barrier in a plane.
Could you imagine climbing into
I honestly just want to see how much research you'd do by me saying, hey, pilot episode, let's talk pilots.
Oh, well, you got shamed.
Yeah, you did. You shamed me.
No, there's nothing I love more than shaming someone.
Amelia Earhart, first woman that unsuccessfully tried to fly around the world. I'm not misogynist at all. You tried your heart out, girl. And your heart stopped beating because of it. All right. You want to know my favorite pilot? We'll do favorite pilots. My favorite pilot was Buzz Aldrin. It's a little unconventional, but any man
definitely a pilot
that will deck a motherfucker for trying to say the moon landing's fake. Because I do this too. Any of you flat earthers or people that don't believe we land on the moon, feel free to at me right now because I'll go Buzz Aldrin on your ass and punch you in the mouth like I'm an 85-year-old man.
I forget that an astronaut is definitely a pilot.
Yeah.
Shout out to Apollo 13.
Is that the one with Tom Hanks?
Which one blew up?
That was the Challenger.
Well, scratch that. Edit that out. Shout out to the Challenger.
Now, Apollo 13 had its issues, but it didn't explode. They were able to successfully re-enter the atmosphere and all that stuff. But the Challenger was the one, I believe, is the 80s. Where the school teacher, and it blew up, leaving orbit. That was fuck.
I know how small I feel whenever I walk outside and look into the night sky. I couldn't imagine looking back at the Earth from a shuttle in space and be like, everyone I've ever known, everything I've ever recreated, everything I've ever done is right there in front of me.
I could. You ever been popcorn real hard on trampolines? Y'all are missing out on that.
I'm going to backtrack real quick. 70 feet to be popped on a trampoline would be insane.
7 stories, at least.
We're reliving 9/11 all over again.
I always thought it was 10 feet. I could be completely wrong. And if I am, someone educate me. Because I am an ignorant Appalachian dweller.
And the word ignorant is only, the definition for it is you're uneducated.
I just don't know.
And there's nothing wrong with being ignorant. Everyone's ignorant to something in their life. That's hilarious. Games for 2019.
It's a fucking new year, boys. And let me tell you what I've been spending more time doing than anything, and that's playing some video games.
Here and I visit and I walk by where Ross is playing games. He's like, dude, check out this new car I just got. It's like, it's a different one every single time.
I say, man, I work at a car lot. I like driving cars. I like playing card games. I'm just a car guy.
He's now seeking his next surgery to turn him into a car.
Headlights for nipples.
I feel like that's appropriate.
I mean,
I feel like that's how they should have done Bumblebee and Transformers.
Yeah. Especially in this area, man. You're a roof bolter, right? Your head's going to get a little heavy looking up all the time.
Okay.
Just lay on your back and do your job. You know what I'm talking about.
I did. It took me a second to figure out where you were wanting to go.
Man.
I was thinking roof bolter, and I immediately went into like what it looked like for someone to be an actual roof bolter on the machine.
Bolter. I'm sorry. I have a slack jaw. What man, 2019 was a big year for gaming. Like what did you play the most?
Metro Exodus for sure.
Oh. Yeah. Forza 4 Horizon hit me up. Ross Boss or C Ross 0077. There you go. I would say there's a couple. Overwatch has always captured my heart, but everybody knows all that boring shit. As far as new games, there's 3 that stick out the most. Jedi Fallen Order absolutely blew my fucking mind and reinstated my love for Star Wars all over again.
Who makes that game?
Respawn Entertainment. It's the same people that made Titanfall.
Interesting.
EA. It's a production of EA. It's Metroid, it's Dark Souls, it's Sekiro, it's Uncharted, Tomb Raider, God of War, wrapped up into a game where you can use the Force and a lightsaber, which is probably one of my favorite settings of all time. So that game, I couldn't praise that game enough, man. I loved it. Shit. I about quit going to work every day over that game. I'm pretty sure I was late a few days because it was like 3 a.m. I was like, fuck.
I feel like that's a good qualification for a game. If it doesn't make you contemplate quitting your job and staying home to play it, then it's not a good game.
Yeah,
that has to be like one of the top tier things for it.
Yeah, I love that game. That Fallen Order, Metro Exodus was good.
Oh man.
So I'm not done with it yet, but Lord have mercy, it was good. Sekiro, I haven't finished Sekiro. I was late to the game on that one, but Jesus Christ in heaven, From Software has made that game just. I've played through all the Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I think Sekiro's hands down the hardest because it's, in my honest opinion, it's Dark Souls, but instead of being able to build tanky, you just better have fast fucking reflexes and know how to read Japanese symbols because that's the only thing that's saving your life.
What do you mean? Rice bowl. I don't know this sign. I really hope there's a sign for rice bowl because that would be real funny.
Yeah.
I got really hooked on the Nintendo.
Phonics.
The Nintendo released their Super for for the Switch where you can go through, and they released the NES, and I wasn't too crazy about it because it's not the graphics. Graphics, it doesn't matter to me if it looked like it was hand drawn by a toddler. As long as it's a good game, it doesn't matter. But I just didn't. I wasn't crazy about a whole lot of titles out of the NES, but the SNES holds probably 70% of my favorite titles that come out of a video game. And whenever they release it, it's $20 for a year. Super Mario World. Every time I come up here and you guys are going to work, we usually play the game, and she'll be like, all right, well, you got to do this level because I know the secret to this one, and we're going to go do this, this, and this. And then she just like one shots all of Starland, and then now it's Chocolate World. And I'm like, Brittany, what the fuck are you doing? Let me play the game.
I still have it. I still have the same one. The SNES is the first gaming console I ever had. I used to play Donkey Kong Country with my fucking grandmother when I was like 6 or 7. Yes, Peggy Ross is the best Diddy Kong on planet Earth. I dare anybody to question me on this. Shout out Peggy Ross.
I'm going to have to go ahead and question Mimi's ability to play Diddy Kong.
You should see her play Mortal Kombat 3. We'll get to that. That's a story for another time. Yeah. While you're talking about Super Mario World, that was the first time in my life I ever picked a game up, and I was like, I know everything about this game, absolutely everything. And I went 21 years believing that until I started dating Brittany Couch, and she absolutely wrecked Star World. I know exactly what you're talking about.
She's not human.
Absolutely not.
It is shitney. I would apologize, but I'm not going to.
It's not us making fun of you. That's just
it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a word of endearment.
I'm going to give us a backstory on how the name Shitney came about, because she's going to be like, now everybody thinks I shit myself.
Well, it was a mild form of dyslexia on my part because we were having an argument, and I tried to say, you've got to be shitting me, Brittany. And I accidentally said, you've got to be Brittany me, Shitney. And I went, yep, that's her name.
That's it.
Forever.
If it sticks, it sticks.
It's stuck like shit.
You know, this isn't part of the agenda, but since we're talking about cow patties, I've now seen a bridge to Terabithia, per se.
Did you watch a kid die, dude?
I'm just about. We went cow tipping. Okay. When they say cow tipping, it's supposed to be like you go up, you push the cow over. Okay. I don't know what kind of bullshit the media is trying to say. Hey,
take fucking Gronk to knock one of them things over.
One person is capable of doing it, but they better be real strong. Learn this the hard way. You go up to them. They're about, I would guess, somewhere in the ballpark about 800 pounds. Like they're all beef. Tried to go cow tipping one time. And let me go ahead and tell you, cow patties come in 2 different flavors. Crusty, dry ass patty, luscious pudding. I got stuck with luscious pudding. Luscious pudding roughly translate to steamy hot Carl. And for those who don't know, a hot Carl is a roaring damp shit.
Shout out to Swamp Ass Awareness because of hot Carl.
Oh God, it's the 3rd of the month. 4th.
It's the 4th.
Make a very long story short. Yeah. Went out going to Martin's Fork Lake. And they have a bunch of cattle out there. And I was like, we're going to sneak out there, going to shove one over. It's going to be a good time. Got out there, went to go shove one over, was running over there, trip, fall. Luckily, didn't hit me in the face, but it did hit me right in the Adam's apple, and it ran down my shirt, went up underneath my ears. It was cow shit everywhere. Try.
You sound like you're describing a happy trail instead of a cow pie.
If your happy trail is running up to your Adam's apple and wrapping around your ears, you might be Amish.
I could show you.
I'm going to make a hard pass. But to get back to the topic at hand, I've been waiting to talk about Exodus.
Yes.
Man,
yes.
For anybody who has not played any of the Metro games, you are missing out on possibly one of the best trilogies that may have ever graced any platform. I got to look at it because I wrote it down. It was it's made by 4A Games, and it was made by a Ukrainian Maltese developed base.
Is that a dog?
I think so. They speak Russian. Jabork. Jabork. It's we need the kibbles and the food. But it's 4A Games. It's not a big company. Is what's crazy. The whole studio is probably about the size of like this room, that room, and that one. Like that's it. It's not like a big place at all. And it spans over, like I said, it spans over 3 games. Metro Exodus came out of what's the best way to call it? It was a horse blinder open world. So it gave you like sections.
I like God of War.
I never played God of War. I know.
It's like it's open world, but it's not really open world.
It's like
but it is open
you
world.
can explore this area as much as you want, but you got to do this if you want to go to the next area. So that was cool. It's just, I'm not going to do any spoilers about the way it ends, but when you go from blowing up D4 and then you go into the next one and you're doing like the whole standoff with the Germans and all that stuff on the second one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Nazis. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
And then how that ends, you do it's all decision based, but then getting there to the third one, Exodus, it was like you were for the first time. It was all set up in the Metro, which is the world's largest underground subway station. Did you know that?
Moscow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's all based off of that. And then you're emerging out of the world for the first time because there's been it's post-apocalyptic and everything. And they're coming to find out that, man, they've been lying to us the whole time. There is life outside of the Metro. And then it toilet bowls from there. It was so good. I about shed a tear at one point. About shit my pants in another.
I about shit my pants all throughout the first section. I do not like playing scary games by myself. I've refused to play Resident Evil 2 yet because of that.
That makes me feel a whole lot better because this whole time I never played games like that.
Comic-Con, I'm all about that. Like, I would absolutely love to go to a Comic-Con.
It was not what I thought it was.
Not a horror con, but a Comic-Con.
Man, they're all great. I did not know they serve they serve beer there. I thought I didn't expect that whenever I got there. But just seeing grown people
doing what they love,
and no one giving them a hard time. I seen 3 girls who entered a costume. We went on Halloween, and I seen 3 girls dressed up in the My Little Pony stuff, and they got up there and they were just having a great time, and no one even looked at them funny or said anything. And it was really cool that even people who are degenerates like that can get up there and have a good time. Because
if bronies can be accepted, anybody can be accepted. That's why I don't go home for Thanksgiving, is because everybody's like, that weirdo plays Dungeons and Satans. Look at him. He's a nerd. He watches those Japanese cartoons. I'm like, motherfuckers.
If you're going to insult me, please, for the love of God.
If you're going to insult me, do it right.
I want to clarify this.
I'm not angry. I just wish my family had better taste in pop culture.
There is only one Hallmark movie worth watching, and that's the Walmart Baby movie. That's it. No other ones can compare.
Man, was it the one where
the small town girl falls in love with a carpenter? The carpenter, and her big corporate man comes down and be like, this isn't working. And he's like, I make my
living doing macaroni paintings, and I love Christmas. Please impregnate me. I love HGTV. First of all, oh my God, I watched Property Brothers until the end of the world. It wouldn't bother me one bit.
Man, it's weird. Like I remember being a kid, and like my mom would watch HGTV, or she'd watch what's his name? He looks like Bob Ross, but he does the aerobic movies. What's his name?
Richard Simmons?
Yes, Richard Simmons. I did not like neither one of those. And now that I'm older, I watched a whole podcast on Finding Richard Simmons, which is a great podcast.
That podcast got me into podcasts.
That podcast got me into podcasts.
Your fault. Because we were at work, and I was like, what is this? Because this is fucking amazing.
It was really good. It was anyone who is listening or watching this video, wherever it comes up at, if you get a chance, go look at the Finding Richard Simmons. It was I wouldn't call it anticlimactic. It was but it was definitely a good listen.
The journey, man. The end of that story don't matter. The journey on that story.
He went through. He went through some stuff that was really good.
So this one is from C. Mitch, and C. Mitch, if you're listening, thank you for this, brother, because this absolutely cracked me up. So I want to start the message off, actually. So just so everybody knows, I put a message up there and I said, hey, I'm producing a podcast for my friends. I want some user submissions about your first worst date experience.
First worst date. Say it 3 times fast.
Yeah, I know it's pretty hard. So he messaged me and says, how PG do they have to be? And then before I could respond,
brother, we want an NCAA 17.
Pretty gnarly.
He says, fuck it. Before I can respond, this is the best.
All right, like this, dude.
Just let me finish. He says, fuck it. So I was like 17 or 18. I hit this girl up. I went to high school with her, up to go camping. We get drunk, and she's plastered at this point, so she falls over backwards into my tent, pukes straight up, so it lands all over her. buddy's girl helps clean her off and shit, and we lay down to sleep. And I lay down to go to sleep. The next thing I know, I wake up and she's pulling my pants off and going down on me. I look up, this bitch has puke chunks in her hair. Me being the savage that I am, I'll let her finish, and we never spoke again.
I will give you two answers. I'll give you the James answer, and then I'll give you the lead answer.
Oh my God, yes.
The James answer is whoever cleaned her up should have done a better job. If she claims to be her friend, she would not have let her lay down with puke chunks in her hair.
Shame on
and I
you.
think that is shameful.
They
Whoever
wouldn't-
done
they
that.
wouldn't have let her go down on this dude either. They would have fucking hit her from the world.
They would have pulled her from. They'd have got her by the belt loop and been like, "Hey, you can't be doing that. That is
you're
irresponsible."
You're out of your mind, honey. Let's go home.
But the lead answer. I can't tell you how many times I've been railing trim. And I've had literally an Old Faithful of vomit spew. It looked like someone threw a 55-gallon bucket of slime into a wood chipper. And I finished, and that guy should have probably went the extra mile. He probably shouldn't have stopped there. He should have kept going. What a man, though. See, Mitch, congratulations.
Yeah, that was. Thank you for that. That was a great story.
Actually, to give like a little background, like so, if anybody who's never been in the military or doesn't have friends in the military, they pound stuff into your head so that it becomes muscle memory, and you will do things before you can even react mentally. Your body will do it without you thinking.
For sure.
Is that why when you have a girl over, I hear hoo-ah in the middle of the night?
Absolutely. You've never heard me even say that period our entire friendship. But anyway.
I wasn't ready for that. Hoorah, boys.
I'm not Marine.
Anderkin just like repels through that light socket.
So this person is military. This was one of my gay friends who responded to the request.
Shout out to LGBT community.
All right. So I'm going to call him JJ for this.
Abrams.
So he said, this is and remember, I want you guys to keep the muscle memory thing top of your heads when I tell you this story. You'll understand a little better.
It's on my head.
He said, so the first date story thing. I mean, a guy online was stationed at Fort Knox. Nothing out of the ordinary for me because he's a slut. You'll agree. Or he was. I think he's faithfully now.
Good for you.
Good.
He was also military. Didn't have a picture, but given how recently Department of Defense, I'm guessing that's what the DT stands for, had been done away with, I couldn't blame him. Oh, yeah, that was this back then, because I'm old and he's old. This was when the don't tell, don't ask policy was saying you couldn't be gay in the military, but they couldn't ask you if you were, but you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
You could be gay, you just couldn't say you were gay.
We discriminate you in private.
Yeah, exactly.
Private.
So he said,
climb up on this dick.
So anyway, this guy was super secretive. This guy that he was meeting up with is super secretive about being gay, basically, is what he's saying. So he didn't have a picture on whatever dating thing they met on, right? He said, I don't blame him. So we meet up for a drink, and he looks familiar. Not like online familiar, like I've cooked you an omelet in the dining facility familiar. First thing I do is salute. So he realized this dude is an officer. Like as soon as he walks in.
Punching up, dude. I like it.
Yeah, right? So he says, first thing I do is salute. Only one problem. I've already got a drink in my saluting hand.
Oh, no.
So he was an officer, and out of habit, he saluted. He said, that is correct, and ended up with rum all over my face.
That is
I
hilarious.
just imagine somebody with a double shot of rum, and all of a sudden they see their date, and then they're like, oh, shit, it's so-and-so, and then saluting a glass of rum into their own fucking
I immediately think of Sevens at the bar. He's like, what do you mean this is not good liquor? Throws it in face.
Throw it right on your face. Throw it right on your face. Shout out Henry Posey.
When I first read that, I fucking cackled because I was like, oh my God.
That's a really good wholesome story. I like that.
I just imagine me walking in, and then there's a girl there, and she's
Sir, yes, sir. Splash.
Oh.
God love it. That's embarrassing on a few levels.
What was your first worst date?
You want to hear mine? I got a good one, man. You all will appreciate this.
Oh God.
As most people that know me know I'm not a tall person at all. I'm more on the short side.
At least 5'1".
5'6".
Nipple high.
Under the average height for the American male. But anyway, this was in the days of MSN Messenger. Before Tinder was around, before all that shit. Yeah, crawled on MSN Messenger and you started messaging females around the county that you thought looked pretty from their little fucking centimeter pictures, right? Start talking to this girl. Talk to her for a little while. We decide we're going to go to the movies. X-Men The Last Stand's out. I'm a huge X-Men fan. Probably my favorite comic book ever is X-Men and movies. I love them.
Yeah, one of his girlfriends was an X-Man.
She was the Blob. All right. We go to the X-Men The Last Stand. I run into her in the lobby of the movie theater and I have to take a double take. I'm like, that looks familiar. Her face looks familiar, but I don't think it's her. And at this point, my head is at a 180-degree angle. In other words, I'm looking straight up.
I was about to say, it's
And
backwards.
she's looking straight down in a 180-degree angle. And I'm just like, hey, I introduce myself. She introduced herself. We go sit down in the movie. She says, hey, I'm going to go get us some popcorn. She never comes back. I got ghosted for being a short man. And as a gentleman, I sit and watch the worst X-Men of the original trilogy with a grin on my face.
Which one?
Last Stand 3.
I've seen that one.
Some one where Magneto goes ham and like picks the Golden Gate Bridge up, and fucking Wolverine kills Jean Grey in the middle of her going some kind of shitty form of Dark Phoenix that doesn't make any sense, and they kill Cyclops and they fake kill Professor X. I could bitch about this movie forever, but regardless, I sit there and watch it, and not only was I upset because I just watched a shitty X-Men movie, this is the first time I felt bad about how tall I was.
That did not expect that story.
Yeah, that hit a little home a little bit. Huh?
Yeah.
I said you really.
And I'm saying this because I give you shit for being short every day. And now you're making me feel bad.
No, he's grown from that,
Yeah, emotionally.
but not physically.
Not physically.
Ross is like my only friend that's short that I don't make short jokes at. I think from my entirety of knowing him, I've probably done maybe 5.
I learned at a soft, tender age. I love it. I thrive.
The soft pink underbelly age.
Seriously, make fun of my height, and I'll make fun of your family members while I'm railing them. That's how I always feel about it. Not to you all, because you're my friends. I wouldn't do that. But to the general public, just know I'm on your Facebook, finding out your family members to hit up.
Oh God,
I'm not that salty. I'm just kidding.
I'm just serious.
Corey's here to pound.
It's if anything, it's a competition. If anybody starts making fun of my height, it gives me chances to come up with comebacks about being short. That's all it is.
This is a good reason. This is why I've been friends. This is why me and him are good friends. I don't date girls, and I can make short jokes.
You don't date girls.
That came out.
Hey JJ,
That came out horribly. I'm not his type. I haven't wiped my ass in 3 years.
It's okay. He's the bottom.
Oh God. I actually cut my penis off
Splish.
in a horrible rotary saw accident.
Splish splash. He's taking a bath in. You know what I'm saying?
Hippity hoppity, get the fuck off my property.
It's been 0 days since I shit myself.
It has been roughly 24 days since I've shit myself.
Roughly.
I can count all the times I've thrown up on one hand, but I cannot count the many times I've shit myself on all of our hands. All right, Ross. So as far as 2019 goes, what would have been, I'm going to say your favorite album, but definitely an album that you loved. I bet you don't even know this one's out. I'll wait till you come back.
This is an easy choice for me, considering how 2019 was a little dry. I've got 3, but the El Numero Uno, without a doubt, Fear Inoculum by Tool, dude.
I knew you were going to say Tool.
I have listened to that album 50 times since it came out, dude. I can't stop listening to it. I listen to at least a song or two every single fucking day, dude. Oh my God. And like, I'm a Tool fan. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm like pretty meh with them. You know, like, and I'm not listening to Opiate through and through like most people.
Not a
have.
diehard fan.
Not a diehard fan. But fucking Fear Inoculum made me just question everything about what I knew about time signatures and how long a song should be. Because there are not a lot of songs out there that are fucking 17 minutes long that I'll just be like, shut up. I got to listen to this, every bit of it.
That's true. Like, I like Dream Theater, but when their song starts to get to 17 minutes, I'm like, oh, we can listen to a different one. That's okay.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I respect John Petrucci as a guitarist more than anything in the world. I do not like Dream Theater at all. Do not. I fucking think John Petrucci is one of the best guitarists ever of all time, but I don't like Dream Theater.
There's nothing wrong with saying, okay, perfect example. I don't really care much for Tool, but it would be literally bullshit for me to say they're bad musicians because you can't.
Oh, dude, they're
masters of their craft.
I think Danny Carey might be the greatest drummer that's ever lived as long as humankind has ever existed. I truly believe that.
What about Travis Barker?
Fuck Travis Barker.
What if he had one arm?
Are you talking about Neil Peart?
I knew you'd know his name. I couldn't think of it.
He's good, man, but Rush ain't never made me like rewind a song a couple times and be like, how the fuck is all of his limbs doing that?
Def Leppard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking.
All right, we'll meet in the middle on that. We'll meet in the middle on that. That's funny.
Whoops. I'm on prog rock, which makes me not liking Dream Theater a double whammy because not only do I play guitar a little bit, I fucking love prog rock. But
I do love prog rock.
One of the pioneers of them, man. I'll get butchered.
You know, I'll go ahead and agree with you on that. I love prog rock or prog metal. It's my favorite genre, but the guys who come before, I'm glad they paved the way.
Yes.
And I'm glad they're gone because I can't get into it. No. Rush, who is a good band, I just can't get behind Rush.
Can't get behind Rush?
I can't.
Oh, man, I love Rush.
They got a couple zingers I like, but I can't get behind them.
Yeah, and they can't all be zingers, though.
Or if they could, they would all be Coheed and Cambria.
I'll back that statement 1,000%.
Every time I talk to someone, a set tier list that I'll show it to them in because I can't show them stuff like Through Fear of the Eyes of Madness. I can't lead with that. No. I got to lead with something like Feathers or maybe the Running Free. And like about Knee Deep, I start getting to like Favorite House Atlantic because like if you like them, if I show you Favorite House Atlantic and you like them, I'm like, okay, you'll enjoy the rest of their stuff because.
And you know what's funny about that is that other than Welcome Home, that's probably their most popular song.
Definitely.
That's the first Coheed song I ever heard was Favorite House Atlantic.
My first one that got me hooked on it, it was a tale of a mermaid falling in love with a centaur. And it was
Suffering.
It was Suffering. Yeah. It was good. I seen that and I went, I don't know what this is, but I really like it.
Yeah, man. Coheed's got me through a lot of shit. A lot of shit, man.
It was really cool to see Coheed and then meet them meet them and they weren't sacks of shit.
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you guys a question that is music related.
Sure.
What is one go-to song that you know has gotten you through just like hard times in life? You know what I mean? Like me, for instance, I've got one that comes to the top of my head.
What is it?
I got it immediately.
What is one for you, Austin?
Where's My Mind by the Pixies? I listened to that the entire time I was going through my dad's death.
Okay.
The entire fucking time.
And was that a recent song? Did you have a song before that?
Before
that? Anything?
Man, that one was so overwhelming. 70 times 7 by Brand New. Okay. Because I had a lot of shitty friends back in the day and a lot of shitty relationships and the whole, I hope you forget your seatbelt when your head goes through the windshield line. Right. It's really fucking appealed to the emo hate you and me, and I love that shit. Oh, yeah.
And the reason I'm asking is, like, I want to see the difference in growth here.
Yeah.
Like, what song by the Pixies and more about it? Like,
boom. Where's My Mind?
Yeah. Some people might not know what the song is.
The atmosphere of the song immediately calms me the fuck down. I don't know what it is, man, but just that it's like 2 or 3 notes. That da-na-na-na-na-na. Just that shit immediately calms me down. And then the song is supposed to be real somber and macabre, but it just, whatever emotion I'm feeling at a heightened state, it brings me back to reality immediately. This song always has. I love it.
What about you, James Ledford?
Definitely Far by Coheed. Absolute, hands down.
Yeah.
I will not relinquish this person's name, but if they ever hear it, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. They posted it as a song of endearment, but it's not an endearing song.
All right, so you knew what the lyrics were.
Yeah, and they posted like, "Oh, this is my significant other," and I'm like, "Are you? Go back and look at the lyrics, bud."
Just go ahead and say it's "Snuff" by Slipknot. Then
It's a really good song.
Listen, Court.
It's the first band I ever saw live.
More about actually.
No, sure, by all means.
Taylor is one of the most talented people in my eyes that there is when it comes to just vocals.
I hate when people shit on him for Stone Sour because I like Stone Sour so much more than Slipknot.
Anybody that can
through my ass.
Jump from Stone Sour to Slipknot. What the fuck are you putting your vocal cords through, dog?
That's what I'm saying.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I know how hard it is to switch back and forth between like goofing around singing and like trying to actually sing like an open mic night. And that's just hard enough in its own, like, and let alone being an actual professional at it. It's really impressive.
But what about this song, like, made it your song that got you through things?
I have been a piece of shit the majority of my life. And it was a song of reflection for me.
Like a clicking moment.
Yeah, because like whenever things got really bad and I had been treating women awful, I've been cheating, I've been lying, I've been doing all this stuff, and then it happened to me, and I was like, I can't believe someone would do me this way. And like whenever I feel things, I feel them immensely in large amounts, and I kind of set aside whenever I get sad. I set aside the fact I've been a piece of shit because I'm sad, and whenever I'm sad, I'm super sad. And that song, it resonated with me with a whole lot. There was a lyric in it. It says, "Go and lock your door. These cold steps will warm." And that's talking about I'm going to come back to you after I've already been a piece of shit, and after this has been buried and done. I'm gonna revisit this situation, and you need to lock your door. You don't need to talk to me again because I bring nothing but a lot of heartache with me. It was really good, man. Like that's a really good song. It's overlooked a whole lot because it came off their Black album, The Black Rainbow.
Oh, fuck that, dude. If you're a Coheed fan, you love The Black Rainbow.
I do love The Black Rainbow. Here We Are, Juggernaut is one of the best songs Coheed has. I don't care what anyone says. They can all suck my left testicle. That song, acoustically, is one of the best songs ever written.
Yeah. Before we get to a new album, I do have one more song.
Oh, sure. Of course, bub.
Super, super feelings. And it goes back to the death of my dad. And it's When the Levee Breaks by Led Zeppelin. And yes. I'll tell you why. It's a fucking hell of a story. If I'm ever a stand-up comedian, it's going to be my fucking killing bit. I got drunk one night when we lived in Richmond with one of my friends. And I was like, man, I need you to help me do something that I ain't got the nerve to do sober. And he's just like, yeah, man, I'll help you do anything. Anything you want. And this poor bastard had no idea what I was about to ask him to do. So I hand him a black box. I'm like, I need you to take this, and I'm going to grab this. And I had a fifth of Crown Royal vanilla that my dad's sister actually bought me to drink for Christmas because it was like it's the first Christmas I wouldn't have my dad. She was like, here.
There you go.
I ain't enjoy drinking, but please, God, don't get in your feelings too hard. Or get in them super hard, depending on the kind of drunk you are.
Either wade in or head first.
Exactly. So I popped the cork on this empty Crown Royal bottle. I set it there, and I'm like, I need you to take that bag in there and funnel it into this bottle. And he's like, well, you got a funnel? I said, hold up. I got a piece of notebook paper.
Oh, you're talking about Logan. God.
Like it's fucking pre-workout. He's like, yeah, man, sure. And at this point, he still don't know what he's handling. Picks the bag up and he shakes it and he's like, is this your dad's belongings in here? And I'm just like, yeah, man, something like that. Something like that. He's like, oh my God, this is your dad, isn't it? And I was like, yeah, it's his ashes. So I need you to stop being a bitch right now and help me funnel that into this Crown Royal bottle.
I have never seen someone with such a good sense of humor about their father passing than Corey Ross.
But anyway, back to the story. Logan starts shittily funneling my dad's ashes into this Crown Royal bottle, right? And like, I'm holding the bag and Logan's holding the funnel and the bottle, and I am fucking hammered. So naturally, I stumble a little bit, squeeze the bag to catch myself for grip. My dad goes all over Logan. All over his chest, all over his beard, everything. So Logan's freaking out, smacking my dad's ashes. Logan's just smacking his beard. He's like, God damn, Mom, your dad's in my beard. Like, dad's ashes are flying all over the room because it's just dust in his beard. And I'm like, just calm down, we'll get it done. We finish the deed. And the entire time this is going on, No Quarter is blaring so loud we can barely hear each other talk because that's like my dad and mine's favorite band. Flash forward to the next day, Shitney starts doing the dishes and is like, who the fuck put chalk in the sink? And I don't say anything. I let her finish. And she's just like, I got this shit under my fingernails. Got this shit all over my hands. Like, what is this? This is gritty. I don't like this. And I like stumble into the fucking kitchen, hungover, and I'm like, that's Dad. End of story. But yeah, best albums of 2019.
Yeah, we went way
We
off.
did.
That's okay. I'll make mine real short and quick for the other one. Parabel, clearly one. The other one, Terraformer by Thank You Scientist.
Hell yeah, dude.
If you don't like
Ship
horns, if you don't like the brass, do not listen to Thank You Scientist
Got the
because
brass.
they got
jazz.
the wins for you.
And,
One of the best song transitions in music history, in my opinion, is going from New Moon into Terraformers, the last two songs on their album. They do like a seamless entry to the one to the other. It makes me want to slap someone every time I hear it, dude. It's so good.
that is exactly how I feel about my other album of 2019, which is Periphery 4 with a pentagram, Hell Stan.
Not Satan.
Not Satan, Stan. Dude, I bet you I listened to Garden in the Bones
A bunch.
400 fucking times this year, man. I can't get enough of that song. It's got the best riffs of all time. Like, the shit just gets stuck in my head. It just, like, I tried to learn how to play it on guitar. I'm a horrible guitar player, and Mark Hockham and Misha and the fucking Jake are like three of the best guitarists alive, in my honest opinion. And I sat down for over 3 months and learned how to play that fucking song.
That's always a
And
good feeling.
Still can't get enough of it. After listening to it on repeat for days and days and days, because I'm trying to learn the song, I'm listening to music, still can't get enough of it. Just that song. But it's not just that song, the whole album, man. Fucking, it's All Smiles, Reptile, all of it.
It's All Smiles is probably my favorite Periphery song.
Man, it's so, it's just,
It invokes a well-being feeling in me when I listen to
it's
it.
electronic, it's 8-string guitars, it's clean vocals, it's screaming vocals.
Do you
man.
even
It's-
gent?
You even gent, dude. Like, come on. Like, oh my God.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must say Django as well.
Yeah, the Django is gent with a G.
The only thing more
J.
useless than the silent D is
Fucking udders on a male hog.
my worst dating experience since no one asked me earlier.
Well, did that.
Oh, I did, but I got sidetracked. It actually happened in Middlesboro. Me and another friend who will not release his name. He's no longer with us. We came out and he's like, man, you gotta hit this girl up. She's going to love you. She's crazy about you. I'm like, all right, let's go. What's going on? I love it when lemons. I love it when women love me. It's a great time.
Squeeze them around.
Firm. So we go in and we go to the house and there's hardly any furniture there. Like it looks like a shotgun house, just in one door and out the other, nothing hardly in it. And there was like one blow up mattress and a couch and maybe a dresser. And it was all in the living room, nothing in any other rooms. So we're sitting here and I'm talking to this girl. We'll call her Sandra. So I'm sitting here, I'm talking to Sandra, and she's not giving me like nothing. She's not talking to me. I'm like, I feel confused because she was supposed to be all about me. Oh, maybe she's shy. And I keep trying to talk to her, and I'm being funny, and it's just not working. I'm like, I talked to my buddy. I'm like, hey man, this isn't working, you know? And he's like, no, it's fine. She's crazy about you. And I'm like, you say that, but things are feeling a little rapey here, and I'm ready to go home because I'm not about that. So we're sitting there and we're talking, and him and the other girl were like, hey, we're going to go to the store for a little while. So you guys are fine here by yourself. And I said, I don't think she's fine here by herself with me. I am. And I look over and she doesn't say anything. And they're like, oh yeah, she's fine. And I'm like, I don't like the way this is going. And whenever they go to leave, my buddy has literally the biggest wad of condoms I've ever seen in my life, and he just throws them into the room.
That's useless.
I know. I don't even wear them. Like, why would you do that? You just made this woman feel like she's about to be molested. And I don't know, man. We sat there, and I was like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. I'm going to see her on my phone until they get back, and then I'm just going to go home. And she goes, I think we should do something different. She goes to make her moves, and we start doing our business.
Whoopi
and
Goldberg.
Yeah, we were Whoopi Goldberg. And she just looked at me, and then it's like someone unplugged the vacuum from the wall.
Dead.
She wasn't dead. I don't know if you've ever had sex with a tranquilized mattress.
I have. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I keep a steady supply of ketamine.
All right, let's go ahead and address something right now. How awkward it would be if your mattress did rat on you in certain situations.
That's why I gave my bed away.
Yo, this bitch.
That's exactly why I gave my bed to my ex-girlfriend. Don't need that in my life.
Oh my
In the
God.
event a wizard ever makes it talk, you go ahead and enjoy that.
Oh, man.
Okay, I'll say this. I'll say it in the famous words of Cody Crowder.
Zequel.
Don't be sorry. Be better. He hit me with that. I stepped on the back of his heel,
Sorry,
and I said,
be
"Oh,
better."
my Crowder, my bad. I'm sorry." And he looked at me like, not even kidding. He went, "Don't be sorry. Be better." This is TARP After Dark.